it's time for another nickel hunt. And if you remember the last one, it was one that probably will never be bettered, but we're going to try. Remember how I put that up here last time? Well, I'm going to put that there this time. See what kind of karma or kind of luck we get for that. Hi, it's Silver Chupacabra, and we're here for another nickel hunt, hoping that we get some of the goodies that we got last time around. We are, of course, looking to close out this Jefferson nickel book, which is seemingly going to take us quite a while. We've had the same 6 openings for quite a while. And what are those? Well, those two, of course. We've had that one Silver Award nickel we have not perchance gotten yet, and we have those 3 key dates as well, the 38s and the 39s with mint marks, except for the D, of course. And of course, last time we got a lot of Buffalo nickels. Hopefully, with that karma train that I started a little earlier there with the Liberty V nickels, we'll get one of those at least. Ha! Well, why don't we go ahead and open that up and get her started by looking at the top side enders. Okay, so here is the top side of this first nickel box of the new hunt. I believe, by the way, this is hunt 13. Let's see, we definitely have some newbies in here. There's a 2005. It's kind of like the older portrait right there. A couple of older Monticellos in there. Maybe. I'm kind of seeing new. There's a 2004 there. I'm kind of seeing a mix. There's some maybes there. Guess we don't know what's on the other end. This is the Habit Trail box, the one with the holes on the other side. It's really hard to see the nickels, to be honest. But, there were some chancers there. Of course, as we always talk about, what's inside is going to be the most important. And we're going to start with this one here. I don't think the enders are going to give us anything, but who knows what's going to be inside. Okay, we are 2 rolls into this first box of the current hunt. And a little bit of junk there. You've got a 1959 that is rolled up. Very cool. Probably going to be a D for Denver. It surely is. Well, continue looking on. Okay, on to roll 8 of this box, this first box of the current hunt. And have found a 59D, but that's a double that we've already gotten. We did roll into another one in the 50s, 57, which is usually very common. 57, probably a Denver. And yes, it is. Very worn one, by the way. Saying is it's been, almost 70 years. I get that. Okay, on to the 10th roll of this box, and we actually have something from the 40s. And it's sticking out of the roll nice and neatly right here. That one has plenty of wear on it. It's like it's from the 1800s. Do we have a mint mark to go with it? No semi-key or key dates on this. And with this much wear, probably going to be Philly. Boom. That's exactly what it is. Real quick check. A do not see a heading notch of any kind, but we will weigh it just to make sure. I don't really see anything there. 1947, that's our oldest to date. Cool. And we still have a bit to look for. That is the fourth find of this box. Okay, on to roll 16. Did have a 57D come in on one of the rolls previous. Just didn't film it. We do have a 1954 coming out here on the back end of this one. I've got a lot of coins looking like this, looking really old, but it's in the 70s. Cannot complain with the nickels I've been getting. Just they're not old. That's the only. I mean, I could complain about that, but I love that we're getting a lot of these hits. So it's usually is going to be a D, kind of from where I'm at. I'm going to stick with that D too. No, it's going to be an S. Cool. There's a lot less common there in San Francisco. That's a decent detail on the back, although pretty worn as well. Still on roll 16, and look what just popped in. No, folks, that's not a 5. That is a 3. It's a 1939. The unfortunate part, of course, is that's pretty worn. Which usually means no mint mark. We are still looking for key dates D and S. Love to see one pop up. Ravenhawk had one pop up in his stream. He had a 39S pop up last night. I was so jealous. Doodly-doo. It just never fails. Never really fails. Cool that we got the oldest nickel. Would have loved to have seen a mint mark there, but that's the way it is. Cool for 39 to pop out. Okay, roll 21 of this first box of the current hunt. And I just noticed that peeking out. It was not an ender. I actually had a 2004 up on top of it. Just took it off. These are pretty common. A Philly would probably be the least common of them. And it is a Denver. Cool. So we found most of the common so far, except for a 58. That should be coming pretty soon. Still have a bit to look at. You're on roll 23. And the 10th find of the roll. I've had another 57D pop up. I've actually got a couple here. For some reason, I kind of went and glossed over that. That 40 stuck out on me a little bit more earlier. But anyway, let's go ahead and check them out. 1954. We already have an S. Be nice to get another S, but a D and a Philly would be alright too. Philly it is. Wow. I was going to say should be able to get the cycle. I usually get a 54D once every hunt. 1940, very common. Even in the DNS. I thought there was a canter there, but it isn't even here. And here's the back side. Nope, Philadelphia it is. Getting a lot of Philadelphias once again. Something I've been seeing a lot in nickels lately. Still have the whole row to look at. Okay, still on roll 23, and we got our third find, and it's another 1940. Just had the Philadelphia. Might have a mint mark on this one. I'm just looking at the Monticello. It's got some detail. Yes, there's wear, but when you see the windows, it's actually pretty good stuff. DRS. It is an S, San Francisco. Very cool. Almost looks like somebody scrawled a big P on the Monticello there. Very interesting. Maybe that's a variety. I'll have to check that. Next roll's up. On roll 24, just a little bit before halfway. And it's kind of getting hot. Even other commons, still getting some finds. There's a 1941, the 12th find of this box hunt. Lots of gook on it. Oopsie. Let's see. Pretty worn. Most probably it's going to be that, the Philadelphia. This kind of works that way. Got a couple of 61s in there too. I'm expecting some big things out of this box, and maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, but it's been pretty cool so far. On to roll 26 of this first box of the current hunt. And I believe this is fine number 14. We're not shy of numbers here, that's for sure. This is interesting. Another 54. This will be the third one. Do we already have the mint cycle, folks? Yes, we do. Sorry I didn't slow roll that, but found an S, then a Philly. There's the D. There's the mint cycle. That's quick. But that's not worth anything. But I like it that you can find mint cycles on nickel roll hats. It's something that happens. Roll 29 of this box set. Line number 15. And yeah, folks, this is going to be one of those 1954 boxes. We already have the mint cycle. It's going to be another Philly. Go. Yeah, we are on roll 31. Last roll, by the way, we had another 54, so I'm actually not going to show any more 54s, but it was a Philly, by the way. And in this one, we found also a 59, and down here, you've got something we haven't seen yet, 1952. A little schmooze on the date there. We turned it the wrong way. Obviously, there's a mint mark. Let's go ahead and see if that's going to be a D or an S. D it is. There is no semi-key or key dates for 52, so I would suspect that has lower numbers, though, than Philly. Check it out. Still a little bit left. Yeah, on to roll 32. And this was an ender. Yeah, I wasn't able to see the date. It must have been on the other end, too, by the way. This is find number 20, which is very, very cool. Unfortunately, nothing of quality is coming out of this box so far. It's a lot of commons. We'll never whine about the amount you're getting. It's always very cool. Let's see. I believe we had a Philly early on and San Francisco there. We've been hitting a lot of San Franciscos on the 40s. A lot of potential here. That's what I've seen in every roll so far. And by the way, yes, we did find another 54 there too. To roll 33 of this first box of the current hunt, and we got another 47 sitting in the laid out roll. Let's see if we can do that without getting the big shadow. We had a Philadelphia earlier. I'm seeing a little more detail. Kind of expecting a mint mark, but doesn't mean it will happen. And it won't. It's another 47. Quick check this on the heading notch. I do not see that happening. I will weigh these, by the way. One thing is with these Henning coins, when the dies were new, they didn't have any flaws in them, so they can look like a real nickel too without that notch. Anyway, come back if something else comes out in this roll. So we're on roll 35, and I believe we're going to be looking at finds 22 and 23. We're up there already. Got a 56. It is a Denver. I've already checked it, and I promise you not to show those real common ones. We did find another 52. Had a Denver the first time around. Let's see if we can get a different mint mark or no mint mark. Nope, it will be Denver again. 52 out of Denver. Really cool. It's continuing in quantity. Love for something of quality or I say quality or quantity there. We're getting a lot of quantity. I'd like to see something with quality in it. That's one thing. You're on roll 37 of this first box of this current nickel hunt. Hey, finally got a 58. Been waiting for this one for a while. So that's going to close out. Oh, it's a D. It's not a big deal. As you can see, we've had not a bunch of 59s, 158, 57s, 56s. There's the 54s. I doubt if I'll be showing any more of these. 55 comes up, I kind of have to because I don't have it yet. I'm sure 55D will pop up somewhere. Okay, roll 38 of this box set, and we've got two finds. One I'll just show you very quickly. Got another 57, and we got a 52. We've got a couple of Ds in 52 so far. Let's see what we got here. That is an S. Cool. Not a semi-key or key date there, but need a 54 plain for the cycle on that year. Cool. And to roll 40 of this box hunt, or the first box of this box hunt, we have 46. A little dusky there, but I would actually say that's got pretty decent detail to it. Let's see what the back is showing. A little bit of window dressing there. I'm thinking there's a mint mark, but I believe that is a mint mark. Cannot tell whether that's an S or not. So let's mark it up this way. That is an S. Tough one to look at. They got these dirt striations there. Kind of tough to see. Anyway, 46S. Not a key date or semi-key date, but cool. This is roll 42 of this first box of the current hunt. And we got another one from the 40s. This is actually going to be number 30 in the finds. And with this one, we've got a chance of a semi-key date, if it's an S. There's wear there, but there's actually lots of detail there too. Maybe a D. Nope, not even that. Philly. Very plain, very plain. The plane. Okay, on to roll 45. Kind of at the beginning here. Got a couple of finds. See a 40 up here and a 41 down here. 41D would give the cycle for 41s. It is not. It's a Philly. And I would say this is probably going to be a Philly. It's got the gigantic wear on it. Yep, Ultra Philly. So, finds 31 and 32. Man. So, we got 5 left. Could we equal the 38 we had on the last hunt for that first box? Not going to equal the Buffalo Nickels, unfortunately. Roll 47 of this box hunt. And we've got, I think it's fine 44 because we did have a 58 come in. Take a look, 55. If I can quit moving the camera. Very cool. If it is a Philly, it will be a semi-key date. It is not. D it is. Fits right in between there. Very cool. Still have a little bit left in this roll. Okay, so that is the end of the first box. 34 total finds. It's a lot of quantity, just nothing showing up that's would be a quality, considered a quality coin. Silver ore nickels, buffalo nickels, varieties. Openings in your catalog, your collection book as well. Did get one more 54 that I did not show, so that's 754. That was a 54D, by the way. But there they are. Most of them are in the 50s. We've got, what, an opening at 51. Nope, that's 53. Opening at 53, 51, and 50, of course. And, of course, this one just denotes Civil War nickels, and we haven't gotten any. So, time to pull another box out and see if we can find some of those quality coins. Okay, so here's the top side, or top enders of the second nickel box. Let's go ahead and waft through them. I see a lot of newbies, that's for sure. Kind of like mid-old 80s, 90s. Yeah, maybe an oldie there. And a lot of hair detail there. That's probably more 80s, 90s. Although, maybe I take that back. Maybe more 70s there. Nothing out there really standing out, but that means nothing. Could have a lot of stuff going for it. Got 35 finds in that first box, with all of them being commons. Let's see if we can find something that has some quality to it. That would be awesome. Okay, we are on roll 3 of the second box of the current hunt. Just a quick note here. I guess we should have the man on here. Forgot about that. You'll notice a little bit of a change with the core. I've got a new desk, so it's been actually a few days since that first box. Actually about 4 or 5. Anyway, if you remember, we did have like 35 finds on the earlier box, all of them commons. I think what I'm going to do is the ones that you see a lot of coins for, I'm not going to come back in. I'll just update, just so this 41 will probably be the last 40 that I'm going to show. That was in the roll there. I've already had the cycle for 41, I believe. It might have been for 40. I could be wrong on that. I'll check later. That looks like to be another S. It's a smushy S, but it's an S. Cool. Okay, we are on the 9th roll. It's been a little bit slow. So far, only one find, which makes sense because, remember I told you on the first box, we were getting a lot of the older portraits, and so it made sense that we got a lot more old finds there. This one, we're getting a lot of the newer portraits from 2006 on up. So, a lot less. It's still been just at 41. Now, I do have something here. I'm not quite sure yet what it is. Let's see if we actually get there. Yep, we went past it. Right there. It says cents. Let's see if we can kind of pull this down. Oh my God. Excuse my use there. Oh my gosh. This is going to be the second time I've found one of these in a nickel roll. Oh, it's a nickel. It ain't a buffalo nickel. Look at that. It is a Liberty V nickel. Oh my gosh. Which means that this can be anywhere from 1912 on down. A lot of wear. Check out that wear on the back end there. The rim is almost worn into the background. You can still see the wreath and the V. I'll be interested to see if we got anything on the front here. The date will be down on the bottom, so I'll be blocking that, but she's pretty warm, but the rim seems to be pretty intact. What do we got? It is in the 1900s. That is a 0, so it's going to be in the 1900s. Awesome. 1903. Take a look at that. And I think it's been at least a year since I found that first one. And you never expect to find these. Buffalo nickels, sure. But these, no. Wow. I am stunned at this point. And we've still got quite a lot to look at in this roll. Got one here that looks like it's got some age to it. Very, very awesome. Okay, so just finished with roll 10, not row. Yeah, so I'm done with that first row. I thought I'd just do a quick summary because I'm not showing all the finds here. There's that 41. I did show that real quickly. The 54 I did not. It's a filly. And then, well, you can see it for yourselves. Yikes. Okay, on to roll 17. And we've got a coin here, or a nickel, that we have not seen yet. 1953. No semi-key or key dates for 53. But, you know, D or an S would be preferable. A little bit of detail on the back. Oh, I think we have an S. Getting a lot of S's here, actually. Of course, there's some I have not shown yet, but there it is. It's kind of like a, yeah, it's a pretty big S for that piece there. We are going on, I believe, to roll 18. Okay, so we're done with the second row of 10 rolls. And we did have 6 finds in there, so that actually brought it up to 9 total for the second box. And what is that? 44 total for the hunt itself. You kind of see the dates there. Did show the 53 on camera. Onward, roll 21. Okay, we are on to roll 22 of the second box, the current hunt. And I do have a potential down here. As you can see, it's like a 1955. There is a semi-key date if it's a filly. So, no mint mark, in other words. There are no S's. I don't know, it's got some decent detail there. I mean, there's wear, natural wear, but windows are there. Do we have a semi-key date? We do not. There it is, D for Denver. Just making sure. It's like all of a sudden questioning whether I know Jefferson Nichols or not. No, there's no S for 55. My gosh. Anyway, we'll go on. We still have a little bit more to go. We are on to roll 23, almost halfway through this second box of the current hunt. And we have a find. And it's one of those good finds, or I wouldn't be bringing you in. No, I could be bringing you in for a date we haven't seen yet, but take a look at what's popping out of that one. That's right, you see that big old giganto S? That is good stuff. Repeat after me, it is a Silver War nickel. In decent condition. I mean, there's some wear on Monticello, but pretty clear detail there. The windows are all in there and whatnot. I believe the hull filler would be 43S. Or a hull filler, I should say. I don't know. What are the chances? We're going to find out. And by the way, this really doesn't look like a Silver War nickel, tone-wise. That's why I didn't spot it in the roll itself on the rim. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. We already knew that part. We already knew the 1940 part. Remember, Civil War nickels were made from late 1942 to 1945. Replaced nickel in the nickels themselves because nickel was needed for the tools of war, basically. Here we go. Is it a 43? Is it a 43? That's all right. 1945. Yes. I always want silver ward nickels. I don't care if I fill a hole or not. That's actually in pretty darn good condition, I gotta say. Let's see if I can get my big thumb out of the way with. So I still got Cheeto dust on the thumbnail there. You can ignore that, please. There's wear. Yes, definitely. But very nice. Okay, we are on roll 27. Remember, I don't break in unless it's something interesting. Now, the date on this one is, 1957. We get that all the time. But take a look. This looks basically uncirculated. It looks mint state. The tone of it does as well. Not really a blemish on this coin, or at least the obverse of it that I can see. We turn it around, and I'm going to be pretty careful with this one to not touch the deal there. Take a look, and I think we got steps there. I know we got steps. This is a 57 Philly, by the way. She is in really nice condition. Let's go ahead and scope and check out the steps. Of course, this is in, really close up here. And you can see there are some scratches there. Steps are always a thing. Let's take a look at that. I mean, you can see them, but yeah, they're pretty muffled there, which is interesting because it really doesn't look like this one has seen the light of day. Probably is going to go into my collection as an upgrade. But cool. Without steps, no steps, still a very cool find. So, we are done with the third row of 10 rolls. We had 5 finds within that. Right now we have a total of 14 finds for this box. That was the big one, of course, the 45 San Francisco. What did we get? 56D, 53 Philly, 55D, and a really nice 57 Philly. So we're on to that fourth row. Roll 38 of the second box of the current hunt. I know we have this actually on the board, but since this date actually has a semi-key, I thought we'd at least come in for that. 1948. That's very interesting. That is not natural wear there. Let's kind of see what the back looks like. Oh, wow, it's kind of got the same thing on the other side, too. Even if it is the semi-key date S, it's in just terrible shape. Somebody going on it with whatever kind of thing that actually scrapes it up like that. But we'll take a look. It's still a Philly. But that's cool. We haven't had one find yet in this fourth row, and that was the first one. So still a little bit left. Yep, so the fourth row of 10 rolls is finished. And not too many finds on that one. We've got finds, 15 and 16 here. 1959, 1948. 59 is a Denver, 48 is a Philly. On to that last row of 10 rolls. Now to roll 46. Well, we do have a couple of 47s that we go ahead and check this one out. Both 47s we have are plain Philadelphias. That one actually has a mint mark. That'll be a 1947 Denver. Cool. Onward we go. Okay, we are down to 3 rolls. This is roll 47. And we've got ourselves a big boy coming in here. Can you spot it before I stop it? Ho, 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 ho. You know, got that Liberty V nickel earlier from this box, and now we're going to get a gift of a Buffalo nickel as well. Take a look, folks. And I believe we've got a mint mark on this as well. Yes, we do. It's a D. And a lot of wear on this one, with the rim kind of wearing into the United States. The horn is really not visible there. You can see a little bit of it, but the mint mark is clearly there. Question will be, what will the date be? Got to remember that date is on the bottom, so we won't go to the right side to cover it. Will we have a date? We will have a date. 1937. All right. And if I remember right, a 37D, we did not check for one thing on the back. But we do want to make sure that we do look at it. Do we have... we do have all the appendages. No three-legged buffalo there, but a 37D, very, very cool. Always cool. I don't think I got 3 genres of nickels in one coin box, and we've got it here. Jefferson, Buffalo, and V nickel. I wonder if the Shield nickel could come in here in the last 3 rolls. Probably. Okay, roll 49 of the second box of the hunt. And this box is once again coming up with some really good stuff. And I've already checked it, but you can see it has it sitting in here. Kind of knock that over just a little bit, but there we go. You can see the coloring there is a little bit of an off green. There we go, 1943. Unlike some of the ones I've been getting lately, silverware nickel wise, this one actually looks like one. Decent detail in the hair as well. 43. I wonder what the mint mark will be on the other side. Let's go ahead and bring it down here for this. It is an S. 1943, San Francisco. I was trying to remember if this is I think it was a 42S. No, 42 does not have an S. So once again, 43S comes out, and it's really in nice shape, even though there's over 100 million of these made. Very, very cool. Second silverware nickel of this box, along with a Buffalo nickel and a Liberty V nickel on this second box. Okay, that is the end of this box hunt. That 5th row of 10 rolls came out with these finds, specifically that 43S silverware nickel and the 37D Buffalo nickel. Also got a 41, a 47, and a 56, respectively. We got lots of coins to look at, per se. So we'll go to a summary, and then go to a catalog. Okay, so that is the end of this big nickel box, and the nickel hunt. 2 really good boxes. That first one had 35 in it. Probably got to recount this, but I think I'm up somewhere near probably about 57, 58, almost as much as the last box hunt. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got. 1940, we got a couple of P's, and we got a couple of S's out of that. 41, same thing. A little bit more on each. 46, we have San Francisco. And 47, we've got a couple of Phillies and one Denver. 48, got a couple of Phillies. 1952, a few D's there and one S. We've got a couple of, now we got one 53 Philly and then a 53S. We actually cycled twice on 1954. Look at all those things. Almost 10 of them. 55, we got a couple of D's. 56, you can see what we got there. Looks like one Philly and a few Denvers there. Same thing with 1957, 58, a couple of Denvers, and then 59, they're all Denvers. The big finds for today, we did have a 1939 Philly. And yes, I do know that's common, but I still count that as something decent when it comes to quality finds. Found that 1903 Liberty V nickel very early on in the second box. In fact, all these really cool finds came from that second box. I think the 39, by the way, was from the first box. 37 Denver Buffalo nickel. We got a couple of Civil War nickels. A 43 San Francisco. And then a 45, and I actually do not remember what we got here. San Francisco there as well. Cool. Then we've got that really nice 57 that for some reason, looks stellar here. And you can kind of see steps when you put it up on the microscope. It does not look very good. Anyway, those are the finds. I'm going to check through them for varieties and errors, and then we'll take a look at the collection books. Okay, so we are at the end of this hunt. We are looking at the catalog books. There were no varieties or errors, so we're going to go right to the collection books and see what we got. I do believe, if I can find this a little bit easier, I guess. An upgrader on the 1943S we found. That one is in much, much better condition. It's in very interesting tone in there, by the way, too. And if you remember that 1957 Philadelphia was outstanding, and it definitely beat out the nonsense I had in there. In fact, I can't believe I haven't updated it before those. But very, very nice looking on that. The only other thing to look at, we did not have any changes in the secondary or the tertiary collection books. Okay, so the only other addition was filling a hole in the Buffalo Nickel book, which is with that 1937D. It was too bad it wasn't that. That would have been above and beyond. It would have been, definitely. Very, very cool. And there it is. Look at how many Buffalo Nickels we're getting in there. That's very, very cool. So, we are at the end. I thank everybody who is watching, or is going to watch, of course. No matter how much. You can watch the whole thing, little bits of parts of it. That's up to you, of course. I don't have anything special coming up. We'll just go to back to the pennies and check them out. I hope everybody has a great coming week or weekend, depending on when you're seeing this. Be safe out there. Cheers to everybody.